What's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again, and look, rumours. Today's rumours. There's not actually loads going on, so let's talk about 777. Talk a little bit Calvert Lewin. Talk about Jarrod Branthwaite. We have been linked with a £5.9 million bargain apparently, but I'm not sold on that, to be honest. So I don't even see the point of mentioning it. Just in terms of the weekend, remember. Make sure you click the link, make sure you donate if you can, and we'll be very, very grateful. In terms of setup, you can see there's no mic and the camera's slightly different. I broke the mic last night. When I was taking it all apart and moving it all, I broke the mic, so I'm just waiting on the part to come, probably tomorrow, you know what Amazon's like, and we'll be back to the boom and all of the stuff. So, let's talk about news. 777's deadline is tomorrow, and it's pretty widely reported that deadline, one, won't be extended, and two, they will not meet it, which means that 777 will be out of the frame in buying Everton Football Club. Good news. Good news, because it's an organisation that clearly are in a mess. They've clearly spent a lot of money on Everton, which really should have gone in other assets that they already had, you know, i.e. Playing companies, football clubs that haven't paid staff, transfers for players, just the general running stuff of the business. And they've, by the looks of it, they've spunked all this money on Everton, and Everton have walked away from the deal, or the deal's going to fall through. Now, you know, I'm sure that people like Josh Wander will be very disappointed, really, because he's fundamentally kept Everton not afloat, because I'm sure Mashiri would have actually come back in, but he's put money into Everton Football Club, and my understanding, I don't know what return they're going to get out of it. So, you know, I'm not going to sit here and slack off 777 at all. They've clearly got issues, but they've also put £200 million into Everton Football Club when Farhad Mashiri didn't. So I wish them the best of luck. I hope whatever they need to get sorted gets sorted. And I don't quite know how Everton will pay them their money back, but I'm sure we will. And that will be that. I also think as well, for the image of Everton, it's the right thing that 777 don't come in, because I must say that they concerned me, you know, the whole legal status of the club, the double borrowing on assets, that concerns me, the all these lawsuits, it just didn't stack up to me as a viable owner of a football club that has always stood, in my opinion, morally on the right side, a club that has always put people first, and a club that doesn't pay its staff, etc. That doesn't sit well with me personally. So, look, we walk away. As I say, I wish you know, they've put 200 million quid into the club when Everton's current owner, who I don't have any respect for in Farhad Mashiri, didn't. So, you know, thanks, and I wish you the best of luck. Other news: Dominic Calvert Lewin has been offered a new deal. Now, I think there's more to this. I said it yesterday, and I am convinced in the next few days, we're going to find out that he's signed. I'm absolutely convinced, because you don't come out and do an interview like he did if you're not going to stay at the club. The timing would be horrendous. So I do think he stays. I think it'll be very early on, and I'm glad. I think next season he can have a good season. I think it can be an exciting season. I think it can be a season where things develop for him again, and keeping someone like him would be key, in my opinion. It really would. So I'd love to keep him, and keep him as fit as we can. Get him playing football, you know, scoring goals, and having the Dominic Calvert-Lewin that towards the end of the season looked like the Calvert-Lewin we had 3 or 4 years ago. That's the one I want back, and that's the one that I think we might have. So, yeah, I'm all for keeping him, and we'll see how it goes. And the other news, which you don't know whether this is Everton playing hard to get or not. So, bit of a borderline on this. But Jarrod Branthwaite is happy at Everton. That's one bit of news that I kind of semi-thought he was. But the other bit of news is that Everton don't need to sell him, or they're not looking to sell him, and that it's going to take a world record bid or in that region to get him. Now, I think Everton are putting all their eggs in selling Onana. I get that. There's probably some other players in there that could be sold and that we haven't really heard much about. You know, if Jarrod Branthwaite stays, then where does Michael Keane go? Where does Mason Holgate go? I'm not saying we're going to get lots of money for these players, but every little will help. I maybe don't think it's as bad as we think it is. You know, Thurwell came out and said that there will be sales. But to offer Calvert Lewin a new deal and for Branthwaite to come out and say he's happy and that he'd probably do another year, it's either we're playing really hard to get, which could be the case. You know, I'm not sitting here saying it couldn't, but it could also mean that there's something happening behind the scenes. And I'm fairly sure we're going to start knowing more about this after tomorrow. You know, if this texter is coming in, and Toffee TV, I think it was Ped, did a really good piece with Hilco, HILCO, really well known on Twitter and his podcast. It was great, by the way. It was a great piece. And I think if he's someone that is seriously interested in buying Everton, which does appear to be the case, maybe there's going to be a way where we can write off the debt, or we can get all the financial institutions to write off Everton's debts and support us. You know, we're hearing about this MSP and Mashiri potentially running the club for the next however long. I've sort of predicted this. I've sort of called it. I will be happy knowing what is going on, and I do feel like we're getting to the end of that. I'm certainly not negative. I'm more positive. I think the club are listening as well, but there's players there. There's players that are going to have an opportunity. There's loan moves available to players. There's players that in Everton's team that might leave, and there's wages that's already come off the books. Big wages. You know, Andre Gomez was on 120 grand a week, and I think it's tomorrow. That's his last day at Everton Football Club. So, you know, there's big money coming off the books at Everton. Everton's wage bill actually isn't as bad as West Ham's or Villa's or I think Wolves. Everton's is much lower. So Everton are actually getting themselves into a decent state behind the scenes. It's just the paying for the stadium and the funding of it which has sort of crippled us. I honestly think we're going to be fine. I honestly think we're going to get out of this fine. I think we're in a really positive position. And if anything, instead of looking negative, I'm starting to feel like things are looking up. It's not going to be a great summer. It's not going to be spending millions and millions of pounds. But if we can keep what we've got, roughly, we're not going down. We're not even going to be close. And all Everton need to do this season is stay up. That's it. There's no metric for anything else. I'm not bothered about Europe. I'm not even bothered about finishing 10th. Just Everton staying in the Premier League and going into Bramley Moore with a structure in place to pay off the debt, an asset available there to secure debt against it, and a group of people behind the scenes that know what they're doing, with a group of players that want to play for the shirt. I'm not negative about that. Aston Villa got relegated, and from the moment they got promoted to now, they're playing Champions League football. Aston Villa, whether we like it or not, are the blueprint for what football clubs should do, which is invest wisely, sign good players, not be stupid, you know. And they have been stupid. Villa have made mistakes. Coutinho, £33 million, they're going to sell him for £5 million. That's a mistake. But it was a mistake that most people could see. But they haven't made mistakes in players like Douglas Luiz, McGinn. So if teams like Villa can do it, there's absolutely no reason Everton can't. Absolutely no reason. So I am excited. I think we should keep positive. The news today is what we sort of semi-expected. Tomorrow's video, no doubt, will be talking about the fact that 777 have confirmed that they're no longer in the frame to buy Everton. And we move on. You might hear by Monday that MSP have decided to turn their loan into equity, which, you know, might be 30-40% of the club. I think we're fine. I think we're fine, and I'm really happy with it. So, look, I'm leaving it there. As I said to you before, charity game is on Saturday. So please donate, subscribe, like the video, and I will see you soon. I'll see you tomorrow for the next video. Peace.